Too many objects on the court. Will this trend stop league-wide? Trades in the WNBA going from worst to first? Sophie Cunningham said the face of the WNBA is Caitlin Clark? All that and more on this episode of the Hardwood 94. Let's tip it off. Welcome to another edition of the Hardwood 94. I'm Nick Hamilton, and Lauren Jones is off this week. And filling in this week is the founder of Living Legends Group and the former voice of the Golden State Warriors, Chuck Walton. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Good to have you in, man. You back in the building, bro.
Great to be back, man. I miss the family here at Hardwood 94. Shout out to my girl Lojo. I ain't seen her in a minute.
Yeah, man. She's off this week, taking some time as she should. So one of the hardest working ladies in the business for sure.
She might be the hardest worker.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
Definitely got to co-sign that.
Yeah, I love it.
A lot going on in the WNBA. And it's weird when we say this because, we talk about the players, we talk about the teams, what's surprising teams, coaches, obviously the CBA that's ongoing with the negotiations with that, but never stuff thrown on the courts.
Yeah.
And it's not so much stuff being thrown on the court. At times you see that. Like in Detroit with the Red Wings, they throw the octopuses out there.
Right.
We see that kind of. Sometimes people will throw peanuts or they'll throw sodas when they don't like the ref's call. We've seen that
in
stuff.
Baseball, they throw the baseball back after
right,
the home
if they
run.
don't like, if you're an opposing team. We get that.
Yeah.
Adult toys, dude?
Yeah,
is that the trend we're doing right now? Is that what this has come down to as far as fandom is concerning the W? Because I don't get it. I don't understand it. I kind of chuckled at it when I first saw it because I was like, wait, is that what I think it is?
Yeah, the first time it was funny.
Right. After that, it's kind of like, come on, man, this is not funny anymore.
Yeah.
And my thing, and I want to get your perspective, but my thing is basically you have families there at these games. You have children. Somebody could get injured. Somebody can slip. Somebody can fall, trip over it, whatever it is. And it's outright disrespectful to the ladies that play in the league, right? No matter what you may think about where their backgrounds or their orientations come from, there are still human beings that deserve respect, and they play their asses off every single night in this league. That's why this league has gotten even better over the course of time because the competition's gotten better. But it's not funny anymore. It never really was funny, but it was kind of like I said, you had to chuckle at like out of disbelief. Like, really? Did they just throw? Like, how do you sneak that into the arena?
Is that what I think it is?
Like, how do you sneak that into the arena? But what pissed me off to a degree, because I was like, yo, man, you got kids. Like, what? You're a father. I'm a father. What if you brought your young daughter to watch the Sparks game, and she, these are some young ladies she may look up to, like, oh, I want to be like De'Erica Hamby or Kelsey Plum or Asia Wilson or Paige Beckers or whoever, and all of a sudden you got to explain to your child, because she's going to say, well, Daddy, what's that? And now you got to figure out a convenient excuse not to talk about it, but then you still got to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's not what you came for. That's not what you paid your money for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is this something that we really going to have to regulate?
Well, yeah, after last night's incident, I think we have to regulate it because now it's one of those, we get on these roles where remember everybody was doing the Beatles challenge back in when Ray Shrimmer dropped the song, and it just kept going and going like the Energizer Bunny. Now we don't know where this is going to end. I don't know if I need to get on Reddit, if there's a deeper meaning behind this. At first I thought it was like, the WNBA, we all know what they say about the ladies. Maybe it was some sick kind of joke. But now, like you said, it's getting dangerous. The joke's over. And it's just disrespectful because this is a league that I feel like we're all in together about supporting the W, right? Even if you don't watch it like that, I think everybody wants to see the women get their just due. And when stuff like this happens, it makes a mockery of, women run the world right now. It makes a mockery of the sport, of the league. It's just absolutely terrible. And now I'm afraid that when we go back to Staples Center for the next game, everybody's going to be getting checked just for this particular item, which is just going to slow down the process to get in and enjoy the game.
And that's the thing. I mean, I know Commissioner Kathy Engelberg came out and said that she's going to instill a no-bag policy getting into these arenas, which is really unfortunate because everybody's not doing it, but you can't decipher who's doing it and who's not. Yeah. But here's the thing, too. What about purses? Like, are you gonna stop women from being, because obviously they're sneaking this stuff in somehow, some way, and obviously there's no metal in it, so you can't detect it through a metal detector.
Do we think a guy threw it? Do we think?
That's the thing. I don't know.
We don't want to make assumptions.
I don't know. And
also, is it the same guy?
Well, it was happening at 2 different arenas at the same time.
Okay.
So it's copycat, right? And again, I don't know if it's just a bunch of college, frat boys, whatever. I'm not saying it's them.
Right.
I'm just saying that's the type of humor that they think this is funny. And it's like, no, dude, you can't. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's not to a situation where you can go and say, okay, you know what? I think this is funny. This is gonna get over. No, it's not. Because you can injure somebody like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, somebody can get injured. Also, I mean, God forbid, 8 seconds left on the clock, and somebody flings one on the court, and it ruins an actual important game. I mean, all the games are important, right? Because you're jockeying for playoffs, positioning and seeding, right? So I think about that. I'll tell you who this is, I guess, great for is the adult industry that makes these toys, right? I mean, if they're smart, they go get in bed with one of these former players or current players and come up with something maybe after the season. And they play into that. That would be what Chuck would say. But call me on that if you want to do that brand deal. But yeah, no, this is just terrible. Especially being a girl dad, that's not what I want to see, man. Because I just respect the women's game so much, and it's just that's not what we need.
As a guy, and as the father of a son, I don't want my son thinking that that's cool.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Correct.
Right, and just even from that standpoint, right. And so I think when you overall look at what it can do, hopefully this will curtail it a lot. And I love the fact that the women could continue to play on and they kind of play through it and they don't give a whole lot of attention to it. It was all over social media, but they didn't necessarily give a whole lot of attention to it. So I give them a lot of credit as well because that's not always easy because you're going to get the questions post-game. Hey, what'd you think about this object being thrown? Or, a player getting hit by it or whatever. So, look, man, cut it out. Go to the games.
Yes.
Have fun. Have a drink. Have a beer. Have some food, popcorn, whatever it is. Boo, cheer, call them out. If it's an opposing team that you don't like, that's fine, as long as it doesn't get vulgar and disrespectful.
Exactly.
Stay off the court. But just go, you paid money to be there. If I'm paying my hard-earned money to be somewhere.
I wouldn't pay money to be throwing a toy onto the court.
Hell no.
I mean, that's just.
I don't even want to see the game be stopped because of something stupid like that. Let's play. I'm here to watch the game, especially like you said, if it's down to the wire. Yeah. I paid my money to sit courtside or in the 100 section or whatever the closest section is that I'm there for. I want to see the damn game, not you thinking that something's funny so you can make some social media post. Come on, man, stop it. Yeah. I got to cut that out.
Yeah, let's end that. Let's support these women the way they should be supported.
And respect it, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all, coming up, we'll discuss the latest trades in the W and how they could affect teams going forward, and our conversations with Seattle Storm rookie Dominique Malanga and 3-time WNBA champion Alicia Clark. Stay tuned.
This is the greatest class of rookies since before.
Man, I'm hungry.
Hungry for new competition?
Whoa.
And hungry for a breakfast with great nutritional value? You need Rookie-O's.
Could've walked to the kitchen myself.
Packed with first-round draft pick flavor. Tasty.
These rookies do look good.
Rookie-O's, part of a vet's complete breakfast. On shelves at your local draft on April 15th. Swish.
All right, welcome back to the Hardwood 94. This week, the Washington Mystics sent all-star guard Brittany Sykes to Seattle in exchange for Alicia Clark, Zaya Cook, and the 2026 first-round draft pick. And Dejanay Carrington was traded from the Dallas Wings to the best team in the league in the Minnesota Lynx in exchange for Diamond Miller and a 2027 second-round pick. What's interesting about Seattle, because Seattle's been struggling as of late.
Yes.
And they needed something to shake them up. And I've been hearing about a trade being on the horizon, but I didn't know exactly what that trade was going to entail. I did not see Brittany Sykes on my bingo card.
Me either.
As dynamic as she is, not just as a point guard, but a defender. And that's something I think Seattle needs. So they're kind of getting 2-1. I hate to see Alicia Clark go. I like Zaya Cook. I don't know where Zaya Cook fits.
Same.
Maybe she may fit in Washington. She may, maybe they waive her. She goes to another team that maybe has a need that she could fulfill. There's a young team in Washington. I think they lost a veteran, but I think they also gained a different type of veteran in Alicia Clark. What do you think happens with Seattle now that they got Brittany Sykes with NECA and company, and then Washington?
Well, for Washington, right? I mean, they just needed assets, like you said, young team. You're just trying to almost what the Thunder did, right? Like a while ago, they were just just grabbing people. It didn't make sense, but eventually it did. So I actually love this for Washington. I actually love it for both teams. I think this was an even trade when you think about where both teams currently stand. Washington, they're building, they're young. They just need any kind of piece. Even if there's no fit, you go move that piece for another piece, right? You go move Alicia for another piece. Now, when you look at Brittany, oh man, Brittany's such a dog. Just ferocious on the defense, and just with her energy, I think it's going to lift the team in the locker room. They need that boost, they need that impact, but also she speaks their language because, you got Naneka, you got Skylar. What do you have with them? Veteran players, right? Yeah. They're in their 33, 34 year of age. So I think she fits that mold of where they're at because they're win now. They don't have time to wait. And so does it make them better? It makes them better. Does it make them a contender? Only time will tell. I do think that I think they're a threat now. Before I didn't see them doing anything. They were they're hovering around 500.
They weren't
a little bit above.
Now at one point they were around, I believe, the 5th seed around that point because they went on a surge. But yeah.
I think this makes them a competitor. I think this makes them a playoff threat. Now you hope they all stay healthy because we do have to factor in the age factor. But I think this was one of the more fair trades that we've seen compared to the other one.
I wouldn't be surprised if Washington waives Alicia Clark because I think
where's the fit?
Not just that, but I think they're trying to continue. They're building. And not to say that Alicia Clark is still not a significant contributor, because I think she is.
I agree.
But I would love to see Alicia Clark on a contender at this point of her career, right? Okay, Seattle traded you because they had to. Washington wasn't going to give you up for a bag of Doritos and a Coca-Cola. They weren't going to do that. So you had to throw in something of value, and that shows the value of Alicia Clark. I would love to see Alicia Clark on a contender. Maybe Phoenix, maybe possibly going back to Vegas if they can open up a spot. Who knows? Maybe Atlanta. Who knows?
I would love to see Atlanta.
If they can open up a spot. But it's interesting how when I look at this Washington team, I think they're trending in the right direction. I think it's going to take time, and I think the people in Washington are patient. I think Coach Sidney is doing a terrific job as far as just guiding those young ladies in the right direction. He doesn't get a lot of pub for it. He's made some mistakes, but overall, he's still guiding the ship.
Yep.
I think with Seattle, here's the thing with Seattle. Seattle is tricky because I do think it gives them some more physical toughness, but also in the playoffs, can they get out the first round? I'm not confident because I'm a little more confident, I should say, now than I was before.
I agree.
But top dog is still Minnesota.
Oh, I don't think anybody's beating Minnesota.
And I think Phoenix is going to have something to say about that. But I also think Atlanta's going to have something to say about that as well.
You can have something to say, but I think it's getting shut down.
I think they can get out the first round. I think Minnesota wins it all. I picked them to win it all early on.
Okay.
I think they win it all as long as they stay healthy. I know Nafisa Collier has dealing with that right ankle. She's going to be out for a couple of weeks possibly.
Which is if I'm them, I let her stay out as long as possible.
Oh yeah, that team is too deep.
I don't rush her back.
That team is
loaded.
deep, and you look at now adding Dejanay Carrington. So now you got a defender. So now you got somebody who's happy because Dejanay plays best when she's happy.
When she's happy.
So now you got some. I'm like, who pulled off this coup? Because I'm like, you gave her up for, like I said, you gave her up for a Whataburger and a Dr. Pepper. Because that's basically what you gave her up for.
They gave her up for a French fry. I guess we can go to that now, right? How did this trade happen? So the league just gifted her. I'm not a conspiracy theorist because, in the NBA, everybody thinks, Adam Silver's in on the fix. But if the fix was ever in, it is now with the Dejanay Carrington trade. there was a team that didn't need anybody already, clearly based on last season and even this season, right? I mean, they've only lost, 5 games? Like, if that. And now you just add a perennial piece that came in last night off the rip, very efficient. I think she's 5 for 7 from the field. I think she almost got a dub club piece. I mean, I don't see how anybody stops them at this point. And like you said, now she's happy.
She's happy. And this is the thing. You know what the Dallas Wings are? The Miami Marlins. You know how like the Miami Marlins like to do fire sales? Here comes the fire sale, because also in talks, in these trade talks, which the deadline ends Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Could Enrique Wnba be on the move as well? Because there's been some talks with her name. Also, my girl, Kate Money Martin from my Golden State Valkyries, has also been in trade talk rumors as well, because Natalie Nakasi has not played her the last couple of games. And when Stephanie Talbot was getting traded, she wasn't being played the last couple of games before she was traded. So there's a lot of speculation on when that's going to happen.
There's been a trend with that. Like, these personal matter situations, and then boom, they trade them off. I don't think Enrique gets moved at all.
Really?
I don't think Enrique gets moved at all.
Interesting. Why is that? I gotta ask.
I think we need that. Like, locker room presence is everything to me. I think when you look at these teams, you have to, especially when you got young superstars on the roster, it makes no sense to move Enrique, to me.
I think Enrique, low key, I think she kind of wants to be moved. But I think at the same time, I think she's cool with staying because of Paige Beckers, because of the high IQ that Paige Beckers presents.
I mean, also when you look at Beckers, I mean, a rookie, right? But she's got that Magic Johnson type of thing where, like, next season they can put this thing together quickly. That's why I'm like, Enrique doesn't make sense. I think you stay there, you build with Paige, you show her the lay of the land, right? I mean, they're really, 2 pieces away from actually competing?
Well, they're a coach away, too.
A coach away.
I'm sorry, I ain't buying that coach. I'm not buying Coach Man Bun. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I don't care what you say.
Niggas firing Coach Man Bun today.
The fact that you passed on Lisa Leslie as a head coach, allegedly,
yes,
that's ridiculous to me.
Yes.
And I am very disappointed in that, because look at the team. Like, they didn't even want to be there anymore. They got rid of, they traded Nalissa Smith to the Aces, right? Okay, Dejanay's like, what the hell?
She ran out the door.
Then they still losing, right? And it's like they're competitive in certain games, but they're losing. They're coming up short. So it's like, okay, now you're getting rid of Dejanay. You moved her on. She went from worst to first.
Literally.
And now, what do you do? So what is that telling Paige? What are you telling? What message are you sending Paige? Because you're basically, the talent is leaving out of Dallas.
Oh, this is compared to the NFL with my Chicago Bears. This is a Caleb Williams situation.
Wow.
You know, we had Eberflus that first year.
Wow.
Right. This is. I mean, we all know where this is going. Now the question is, does Lisa Leslie walk in there and take that job after she was allegedly passed over?
No.
Is that bruised ego?
No, I think it's disrespect.
It's disrespectful.
I think it's disrespect, because
I agree.
It's a lot, Lojo and I talked about this on a previous episode, and we were talking about the coaches that should have been even for the Sparks, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And even we were talking about the Sparks and the Wings, and I'm like, wait a minute, and there's no disrespect again. This is no, I don't want you Sparks enthusiasts coming after me, because you know what you can do, okay? I like Lynn Roberts. I think she knows basketball. I think she could coach. Never a dull moment. However, when I'm looking at certain things in certain areas, when I'm looking at the Dallas Wings, and I'm like, okay, you got the number 1 pick. You got arguably one of the. She could be a great player when this league when it's all said and done.
Yes.
However, when you're taking away the talent, what message are you sending as a GM, as a president, as the ownership? What message are you sending Paige Beckers? And if I'm hearing Enrique's name even being mentioned, that's a problem.
Absolutely.
No different, and I'm going to tell you another name to look out for if it goes down. That's Aaliyah Edwards out of Washington.
Ooh.
Aaliyah Edwards' name has been floating around very strongly in trade rumors. Ooh. Now, if a deal gets done, whether it's with Golden State or another organization, I would love to see Aaliyah Edwards at Golden State.
I would too.
I think that team is definitely going to change and improve. I mean, they've done an amazing job with that franchise and with that team. I mean, the fact that they may enter the playoffs in their inaugural
And
year.
year one is crazy. And
That's amazing.
And the fan base is going crazy right now. The energy up there, it really feels like that energy back in 2013-14 when Steph and Clay and Draymond were kind of putting it together on their early run.
I'm gonna throw this out at you. Juju Watkins. We know she's recovering from injury.
Yes.
Love Juju.
Yes.
She's incredible.
Yes.
I wish her all the
I heard
best.
she's looking good in her recovery too.
That's great, and I'm glad to hear that. And I think if she comes back, has another couple healthy years at SC, really gets them through the what I call the gauntlet of the March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say she comes up a bit short in winning an NCAA title, but she's right there, and she leaves.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the WNBA, what city do you feel like Juju would be best in?
Either Golden State. She's not leaving California. They're either going to hand her to Golden State or hand Juju to her hometown, LA Sparks.
God, don't say that, Chuck.
I think
that.
that's what happens.
Dear
I think it's great for the league. I think.
Why do you want her to go to LA?
I think they want to keep her. I mean, it's the ultimate LeBron, Derrick Rose story. I mean, right here in your backyard, where she was, a real LA baby, born and raised out here.
Drink.
But
Chuck,
I
give me
think.
the drink.
But I would love Golden State. I would prefer Golden State. That would be my number one. The Valkyries would be my number two. I don't know who I would throw in at number three.
No.
They need her in a major market.
I'm telling you right now, if the league is smart, you put her in Golden State. You make her the Steph Curry of that franchise.
I'm not mad at that.
And for business purposes, ladies and gentlemen, WNBA boys and girls, you connect her to Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what your man KD did?
That is exactly what KD
and build
did.
up boardroom?
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
And Juju's been all about her brand deals and her NIL.
yeah.
I mean, she's virtually created what that looks like on the women's side. So I'm not mad at that. I would love to see her with the Valkyries. And I love those colors. I think those colors.
Don't get me started on the colors, man.
Yeah, the swag, the merch.
Man.
Oh, man, I can see Juju really rocking that. But that would be great for the league.
I'm looking forward to the second half.
I can't wait.
I'm like Birdman.
I can't wait. Hand rub, baby. Birdman hand rub. Shout out to Young Money.
It will be interesting to see, what teams inch closer to the playoffs. So that'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Dominique Malenga has a very bright future in this league. She was drafted overall number 2 to a solid organization with veteran head coach Noel Quinn and veterans in Skylar Diggins and a future Hall of Famer in Nneka Ogwumike. And also before her trade departure, we had a chance to speak with 3-time WNBA champion Alicia Clark. Check it out. First of all, congratulations, number 2 pick overall 2025 draft. How have you been able to be acclimated into the WNBA thus far?
I think I'm getting used to it pretty well. I have an amazing teammate and amazing coaching staff and just an amazing organization that helped me to get used to this league. I'm playing, I'm getting used to the physicality, to the pace of the game and everything. So far, I think things are going pretty well, and I'm just happy to be here and being able to experience all of that.
I saw you at a Mariners game the other day. What was that experience like for you? How would you gauge your first pitch?
I was stressed, to be honest. It was my first baseball game ever. It's not really a thing in France. I've never seen baseball in my life. So I was just happy to be there on the field. I saw the love from the fan, and I was so stressed because I didn't want to miss the pitch. It went pretty good, so I was happy.
Now, there have been a lot of comparisons. You have your own game, but there are a lot of comparisons to you and Victor Wembanyama. What do you see as far as the comparisons and the similarities and the differences between you guys' game?
Yeah, we've been a lot compared, but for sure, I think physically he's tall. I'm one of the tallest, and we move pretty well. We can run. We have abilities to play at the perimeter. So for sure, there is some similarities, but also there's a lot of differences. I play my game, he play his, and I really want to highlight that I'm myself on the court. And yeah, but I don't mind that play. I love that player. He's a really good player.
Last thing for me, Nneka Ogwumike, Coach Noel, when I talked to her, she said that's your accountability partner. What have you learned from Nneka that has helped you and continues to help you on and off the floor?
I learned a lot from Neka, and I keep learning from her. I mean, just by watching her play, you learn a lot. She just have that serenity when she plays. She just know what to do, when to do it, and yeah, she's that physical and she's that player. So I love watching her playing, and yeah, she's my Wnba partner. So we talk a lot, and when I have questions, she always there to help me and give me advice. So it's great to have her.
Well, you know, you are definitely that player, and I look forward to watching your career blossom and grow as well.
Thank you so much.
I'm here with the one and only Alysha Clark. So first of all, what was the definitive moment where you realized, okay, I got to come back home. It's time for me to go back to Seattle and play with this organization?
I don't know. Honestly, it was just opportunities that presented itself. There wasn't a moment where I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be what I'm going to do. And to be honest, that wasn't even my thought process going into free agency. But I'm just really grateful that I have the opportunity to come back to Seattle.
Being a 3-time champion, what do each of those championships represent for you? Because I know each one is different and is special in its own way.
Yeah. I mean, I think just a culmination of all the hard work over the years put in, belief in myself, belief in the journey, and just understanding, you know, just how rare and special that is. And just honestly, for me, the appreciation to be able to play in those moments. Not every athlete gets that opportunity, and so the fact that I've been able to compete for 3 championships is really amazing. And it just solidifies who God's been in my journey for me, you know, every step of the way, and just trusting and believing in his plan for me. And so to be able to celebrate that, bring light to who he is, and share his light with the world has been something that's been the most rewarding from it all.
Now, playing with the Aces, obviously A'ja Wilson, Chelsea Gray, you guys were a group. I mean, to me, that was a fantastic four in the whole Marvel universe where you guys were playing. What did you learn the most by playing with A'ja, but then watching that you were able to adapt it to your own?
Man, the way that she has fun with the game. You know, I think sometimes as professional athletes, we're so locked in on the goals that we're trying to achieve, and we're pushing so hard and working so hard to try to achieve those things. But something that she did really well, yeah, she did all of that, you know, put in the work and the time, but she enjoyed it. And that for me it was so refreshing to see this young superstar that's hungry to be the best, but like enjoying the journey along the way. And so for me, I think it helped me just see the fun in the game, see the fun in the journey. And that for me has been something that I loved when I got to take the court with her, and that I've taken along with me even here in Seattle.
Now, you got a chance to play with Nneka Wnba as well as Dominique, and seeing those two interact, especially with your veteran experience, what is that like just to be a collective unit on this team, to have the vets as well as the young people that you all can mentor and kind of bring along as well?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, as a vet in this league, you always want to pour into the rookies when they're on your team, and even if they're not, you just want to pour into the rookies, because that's what our vets did for us. They laid the foundation of that, of what this league means, and just to be able to pour into this young talent that we have on the floor. She's such a sponge, and I love being able to pour into those that want to get better and want to learn, and that's exactly what Dom does.
Lastly for me, legacy. You've always represented legacy, whether it's from your family or just on the court. What does that mean to Alysha Clark?
I think for me is just always keeping the bigger picture that life is more than basketball, and the platform that we've been blessed to have, to use it for good. And that's something that I always want to do, is spread as much kindness and goodness in this world. You know, do the hard things with love, but just spread as much goodness and light as I can.
Well, you know what? You're doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much. 3-time WNBA champion, Seattle Storm, Alysha Clark.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely wishing Alysha Clark all the best in the nation's capital or wherever she may end up. But
that's a good piece.
Thank you, sir. I like Dominique. I think, and she does kind of remind me of Victor Wembanyama in certain regards, as far as just her movements and how she likes to control the ball. And I'm telling you, I'll give her 2 years. You're going to remember Dominique's name in 2 years.
Future MVP?
Possibly. She's got some great people up there, and she's with a solid organization, like I said, with the Seattle Storm. So if they can hold on to Noelle Quinn, which I think is a really fine coach, I think she knows exactly what she does, and she knows how to have a mixture of young people and veterans. So
to get the most out of the team.
And accountability is key, and that's what she
accountability.
Preaches. Absolutely. Coming up, who's truly the face of the WNBA? One player who's not afraid to voice her opinion, speaks boldly on the subject, and more. We'll be right back.
Hello, aloha, howdy, hey y'all, and welcome to the W. Here in the W, we pride ourselves on having a super welcoming,
gets stoned.
Calm, low-stakes environment.
Boston will hoist.
She hit it!
Where communication is highly valued.
Oh, it's getting chippy.
Collaboration is always encouraged.
Oh, what a pick!
We are devoted to working extra hard. We've been delivering astounding results since 1997.
Back to back.
Because this is a place where basketball matters.
Beautiful pass and a good catch and finish. Big time!
And if you love
Oh, Enrique!
real
Thomas with the spin move.
basketball,
Unforgettable finish!
welcome to the W. Basketball's fun.
All right, welcome back to the Hardwood 94. On a recent podcast, Indiana Fever's Sophie Cunningham, who was not afraid to speak her mind, was asked specifically, who is the face of the league? And she said, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Caitlin Clark. Sophie also says she gives credit to the ladies who paved the way before. Is this fact or disrespectful to the superstar players that are in the league right now?
Is that a question for me?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, Sophie is obviously a bit biased, as she should be. I'm also biased, too, because, you know, I'm a Chicago Sky fan, so you know where I would have wanted to lean. But also, I'm a realist. I love Angel Reese. I think she's incredible for the culture of the league. And what I mean by that, I mean by just being yourself, right? That Allen Iverson thing, right? That Michael Vick thing, that Deion Sanders thing, right? Like, in the world we live in now with social media, you can't really run and hide, you know? Like, you get to show who you are, and that's what we want. We want to know what you are like off the court, off the camera. So I love what Angel's doing. Caitlin Clark, for all intents and purposes, is the face of the league. Does that mean she's the best player? That is technically debatable. But I do believe she's the face. You know why she's the face? Because they're pushing everything behind her. I think they're forcing her to be the face. Even if she doesn't want to just grab it by the reins, they're forcing her to be the face of the league right now. And also, she's a hell of a player. I mean, we can't deny the skill set. We cannot deny this. Every time you want to get mad at her, she's another triple-double. She's shooting from 50 feet. She's shooting from Hardwood 94, you know? So, yes, I think Caitlin is the face of the league because you know why? If you go to LAX when we leave here, and you just scream out on the airplane, name one WNBA player, I believe that you get more votes on the plane, just random people who don't follow the game, they'll scream Caitlin Clark. And that's how I judge as somebody the face of their sport, right? When you think of basketball, this whole LeBron versus Michael thing, the whole world still knows who Michael Jordan is.
Which is a dumb argument. But
I'm just.
No, I get you.
No disrespect to you know King James, and you know he's done his thing, right? But I'm just saying, if you scream Caitlin Clark, I feel like you walk down the street and a random person who doesn't even follow sports will at least be able to go, oh, that's the WNBA lady, right? To me, that makes her the face of the league.
All right, here's what I'm going to disagree with you on. Here's what I'm going to say it's kind of disrespectful. Because when you talk about the face of a league, that's all you have. Caitlin Clark is not all you have in the WNBA. Now, she may be one of the most popular. Now, I'm not saying she's not one of the faces of the league. Because I'll be damned if I'm going to sit up here and say that A'ja Wilson ain't the damn face of the league, especially when her shoes are selling out. Every pair of shoes is selling out in 5 to 10 minutes.
I won't be
mad at
A'ja.
And I've been to different arenas where the Aces, especially during their heyday, you know, in their championship years, they were screaming for A'ja Wilson. Mm-hmm. All girls from all different nationalities. I seen some young boys go, hey, can I get an autograph? I seen fans come out. I don't care if they were opposing fans. They were still cheering for A'ja Wilson. Now, granted, A'ja doesn't get the same push as Caitlin. We all know that part of the reason why that is. Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, I'm not going to sit up here and disrespect or ignore what the ladies that have been here longer have done to get to this point. Because in order for you to get to this point, because we were in 2012 and Caitlin Clark came to the W, it'd have been hit and miss. It'd have been hello and goodbye.
I agree with you. First of all, A'ja's incredible. You know, she's one of the GOATs. She's going to be a top 10 player all time when it's all said and done. No questions asked. Here's the thing that plays into Caitlin's favor, though. The game of basketball itself, right? If we go down the street and we go to Inglewood or we go to the courts, we're going to see some young girl, some young guy jacking up an 80-foot shot. That's a testament to Steph Curry's greatness. I think the game of basketball has evolved so much that I think her style of play makes her the face of the league, right? It's kind of like that Asia reminds me of Shaq when he came in '92. Shaq very much is arguably, a top 5 player of all time. He's in my top 5, right? But people forget, they remember Shaq with Kobe, right? The big boy that was just knocking you back and throwing it. But we grew up with the Shaq that was on the breakaway, like bringing it up the court and jamming it, slamming it, right?
And going up against the king.
Right, but it still wasn't as sexy as Mike with the tongue out and soaring in there, right? So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying that I believe that Caitlin's style of play, and her also being a hell of a freaking player, I think you pair those two combos together, and you add in that other thing that we all know that is there, I think it makes her the face of the league that we can't argue.
And listen, I'm not saying she's not one of the faces. Like, if you put a Mount Rushmore of faces, she's definitely on there, right? But I also got to add Asia. I got to add Sabrina. And I may have to even add, Stewie. I may have to add Stewie on there.
I would add Stewie. I would add Paige. You got to throw Paige. I think, even though she's young, but maybe not yet. Maybe not yet,
bro. You got to crawl before you walk.
Okay.
You got to crawl before you walk.
That.
Puff, give.
Like some Friday After Next, right? I'll ask you this, though. If you went on, what's that game show Steve Harvey is on? Because I keep seeing
Family Feud.
Family Feud. You went on Family Feud, and one of the questions was, who is the face of the WNBA? And it's $1 million on the line. What would your answer be then?
I mean,
what would your answer be then?
It's gonna be Caitlin Clark.
That's my
a loaded question.
That's my point. That's my point. That's how I feel about, and that's a whole nother subject. But that's how I feel about this rap thing, right? I know you Team Kendrick. You know I'm Team Drake, and I respect that. I respect that. But if you ask the global question, if your life was on the line, who is the bigger global artist that put rap in the position that it's in?
Right.
The answer would always be.
Are we talking about right now? Or are we talking about Aubrey?
Right now, Aubrey's still on top of the charts. He was on top of the charts before the beef, and after the beef, and during the beef. So
he lost some. He lost some winning themselves because that got up in that ass.
I don't know.
Chuck,
I think
Chuck,
history will reveal.
Come on now.
I think history will reveal.
How you go in your own hometown and you take down another man's hometown?
Did he take it down?
2 nights. Sold out crowd.
And Drake's been selling out LA for years.
Dot's been on that trajectory.
But who's on top of the charts right now?
I mean, it's Dot right now.
Drake's on top of the charts right now.
No, Aubrey ain't.
You can pull that up.
No.
Mark, pull that up.
We'll talk about this later because we done got up to a whole other conversation. Because I know this man is OVO.
It's OVO forever, baby.
So, I'm from the West, so I'm always.
I was born on the West. I got love for the West.
I get it. But you moved to Chicago. You grew up in Chicago.
I did, and I got love for Toronto.
I stayed here.
I got love for Toronto.
I'm 10 toes down here. I know you do. That's why I said no.
What did I miss?
West. I'm on the West.
What did I miss?
They not like us. That's what you missed. That's all I know. Let me ask you this other question, man, since we talk about superstars and whatnot.
Yeah, talk to me.
Should a superstar be treated differently, even at the expense or possible ruining of the team chemistry? Especially in the WNBA. As a grown.
Yes, a superstar should be treated differently. What I mean by that is you expect your superstars to be accountable. If there's nothing wrong with having somebody that stands out from the crowd. You don't go give them, a Lamborghini and not hook the other teammates up, right? But you might give them partial treatment. But also, you are harder on that superstar than the other people. Because when the times get low, you need them to be able to have the voice of the locker room, So it's that thing where it's like Phil Jackson's going to come down on Michael in front of everybody, right? And Michael understands where it's coming from.
Right.
Because you just want to show, like, hey, sometimes the golden child is not always so golden.
When he sat down Kobe that time and told him, you're not getting back in the game.
Yeah, especially the times that we live in now. Like I said, when you add the social media element, like back in the day it was a little bit different, but now, I mean, you got people that are shining on these high school teams, right?
Yeah.
Above some of their teammates. But if I'm that coach, okay, cool, you got 90,000 followers, you making some NIL money, you the man. You the man on the team or the woman on the team. But guess what? I'm going to ride you in practice. I'm going to expect that 4.0 GPA. You know what I mean? I want you to lead in every aspect of life off the court.
And see, that's where I differ I agree with you as far as going harder on the player, but it has to be that coach to be willing enough to do it and have the guts enough to do it. When I look at a Becky Hammond, when I look at a Nate Tibbetts, when I look at a Sandy Brondello, when I look at Noel Quinn, as we mentioned earlier, when I see certain other coaches and I see them, I know for a fact, yeah, you could try that for a second, but you're not going to keep doing that on this team without getting retribution.
You're going to be end of the bench.
You're going to be picking splinters out your behind. That's what you're going to be doing. So, and even when I see Caitlin Clark go off the way that she's gone off on the refs, there's no way in West hell you could tell me if any 4 of those coaches or 5 of those coaches that I mentioned are going to allow her to keep doing that. They're not going to do that. And I'm not saying that's not a knock against Stephanie
Caitlin.
White. Okay. It's not a knock against her as a coach. What I'm saying is sometimes you got to save players from themselves. I always remember my old baseball coaches tell me, sometimes you got to save y'all from yourselves because you guys don't see everything that we see. And as a kid, you're like, yeah, whatever, man, you just hating on me. But as you get older, you realize, man, that's wisdom. And I think you talked about Phil Jackson doing that with Michael, Phil Jackson doing that with Kobe. Popovich doing that with Tim Duncan at times, or with even David Rock, with Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. I think you got to have a coach that's willing to be 10 toes down and stand on business. Even if it means that player's going to be pissed off at you, that player may or may not want to hear you after the game, but you got to be sending a message because the other 11 players, the other 12 players, whoever many is on that squad, are going to be looking at you. And they're going to be wondering, oh, well, how come they get preferential treatment? But then if I come in 2 minutes late, you want to be jumping down my throat. But when they come in 5 minutes late, it's like, okay, well, let's get down to the line.
But you're saying what I'm saying. That I have no issue with it. Like sometimes there's certain people that just stand out above the crowd. This is like Willie Beeman and what was the coach Patty? What was it? What was right? So
Any Given
Sunday, it's Al Pacino and Jamie Foxx. In the movie, right? Like Jamie started getting some special treatment. It went to his head in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
But even at the end, he was able to reach him in a certain way that it humbled him. He still was him, but he turned it into being a better teammate. And they won. And then even at the end of the season, they dipped on up out of there. Fox, we need part 2, by the way. We need Any Given Sunday part 2. We don't know how that finished and how that happened. Shout out to my big homie. But I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, at some point it's going to happen, right? Like if you got 10 kids, 11 kids, right? And one of them is little Michael Jackson and spinning. It's okay to put him in the front at 5 years old with the mic. But also, you're the hardest on him. You discipline him the hardest.
But most people, especially these days, will go the softest on the ones they're supposed to go the hardest on. And we've seen that time and time again.
And that's why the league and these superstars is messed up.
Exactly, because they've been getting smoke blown up their behind since they were in junior high school.
Yeah, and so I like what you said about we do need those. We need those coaches. We need those hard-nosed coaches.
But we don't get those anymore because everybody's so scared and, oh, my God, if my player walks out, I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's on the GM.
Come on, man.
That's on the GM.
That's what I'm saying. But even in the W, I've seen it in the W. We've seen it in the NBA with a certain particular superstar who is known to mess up some franchises along the way.
Yes.
Except for one who they probably won't ever be retiring his jersey down there.
Yep.
But when is there a limit? Because I don't see the limit. Nowadays, I don't. There used to be a limit, right? Like Popovich let you toe the line for only so long. Phil will let you toe the line only so long. Even Doc, when he did that Celtics team that year, he was like, all right, KG. He was hard on KG because even KG said it, but he was like, yo, I need you to be my extension out there.
Yeah.
Right? We don't see that anymore.
You know, it's a good blend of it, and no bias. I think Steve Kerr's been a good blend of it. I think Steve Kerr's been the perfect blend out of anybody in NBA history that had enough hardness when to be. He knew how to adjust to each player. He coaches each player differently. I love that clip that they run on the sideline, and he's drawing up a play, and Steph is just looking stoic. He's having a bad game, and he tells him about what Mike used to do, and you could just see Steph like listening to it. And it was the way he was talking to him,
I got you.
And then there's times where you see him kind of berate the players a little, but it's in his own way. It's still a respect level there, and so I don't know. I think it's a coaching thing. I also think there's a disconnect at the youth level. I think these kids are getting stuff so. These kids are walking down the street with Lamborghinis now. So it's like, how do you tell this kid anything if he actually turns out to be what his numbers say?
You know what I think we need? We need a good old dose of good old school Chuck Daly.
Yes.
That's what we need.
Rest in peace to the
we
Detroit
need
GOAT.
Chuck Daly.
Yes.
Because Chuck wasn't taking nothing off nobody. He didn't care if you was Isaiah Thomas or you was the 12th dude at the end of the bench. James Edwards, whoever.
Yep.
Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
And he loved him. He loved every single one of those players. Because
Yep.
Dennis talks about him, you know, if you listen to certain interviews. And even Isaiah does too.
Yep.
But he didn't care about who you were. If you didn't follow the protocol, you were getting canceled.
Well, you named the perfect player. I mean, how lucky are we that Dennis Rodman had those coaches that he had? Because if he played for any other
even in
team,
San Antonio.
Yeah, even in San Antonio. I mean, look at the run Dennis Rodman had.
And then the Bulls with PJ.
You know what I mean? I mean, like for the guy that he was off the court, he played for some hellacious coaches that gave us the greatness that is the Worm.
Yeah, I mean, so I think besides the coaches I named in the W, I mean, I really want to see other coaches come around, and I really want to see that. And I mean, it may be one or two coaches that I'm not naming off the top of my head that may be doing it that I didn't mention.
What about Don Staley making the jump?
No,
Never?
Don needs to stay in South Carolina. The reason why I say Don should stay at South Carolina is because I think when you got a good thing and you got a niche,
you don't mess up.
that's your ministry. Okay?
Pastor Hamilton.
God got a plan for your
Yes,
life,
Lord.
but that ain't it. That ain't it. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. I'm going to pass the cup to you. Go ahead, put a dollar up in there. $5 would do.
There it is. That's 500.
Hey, I'll take it, brother, to the bank, and then some. But what I will say, like I said, if you look at Geno, what he's done at UConn, he never. People talked about him possibly jumping at one time, but he didn't. And I hope that Don doesn't either. She says she doesn't. I know there was a story about her being interviewed by the Knicks,
which I thought the Knicks should have done. Me personally,
I'm glad they didn't. And I'm not saying that to keep Don and just to keep her in a box, but I'm saying she's the most effective with those young ladies because she's not only coaching, she's teaching and she's mentoring those young ladies. And we've seen the type of talent that she's brought up. We mentioned Asia Wilson earlier. We see Aaliyah Boston and what she's been able to do. And think about it, all these young ladies are not in trouble off the court.
That's a great point.
They don't say anything too far off base. They're going to speak their mind, but they're not going to say too anything. They're not going to be vanilla, but they're going to get to the line, okay? You don't see, very few programs have that.
Very few.
Especially as a black woman.
Yes.
That they respect. And I don't care what nationality you are. Everybody respects Dawn Staley.
Everybody.
Okay? Just like most people respect Geno, unless you went to Tennessee. Shout out to my girl Candace.
Yeah, Chi-Town, baby.
Candace Parker, the great.
The greatest.
But just like Pat Summitt. When Pat Summitt, God rest her soul, when she was coaching, Pat Summitt was one of those ones where it was like, nah, you knew if you came out of Pat Summitt's program, or if you were good enough to play in Pat Summitt's program,
yes,
you knew what type of person you were getting on and off the floor. That's what we need. And like I said, I would want her to make the jump. Now, I wouldn't be mad if she did, but what I will say is I think she's the most effective on the collegiate level with those young ladies, especially 17, 18-year-old, leaving home, someone for the first time. They need that. They need that discipline, but they also need that love. And I don't think you get that. I think you lose that if she was to make the jump to the WNBA. And I don't think the WNBA would give her the full autonomy that she deserves and that she would want.
I agree. Unless your Sparks are sitting at the #1 pick and they take Juju and then they bring Dawn in. I'm just a man can dream, can he?
No.
A man can dream, can he?
Where's first in that damn bubble?
A man can dream, can he?
No.
Ooh, what would that do for the W?
No.
Ooh, that might be what
the only time I would want to see that is if they had new ownership. Leave it at that.
Well, maybe we buy the team and make that happen.
Listen, I don't care if Steve Ballmer buys the team. Because at least I know what I'm getting with Steve Ballmer.
That's the truth.
At least I know what I'm getting.
At least we know what we're getting.
Can't speak for that, for everybody else.
That's the truth.
You get mad at me all you want, but stop me when I'm lying. Because there's no way we're celebrating a fact. And I had a conversation with a Sparks fan. Well, if we make the playoffs, but if y'all get swept,
what's the point?
What was the point?
What's the point?
Are we celebrating the fact that we're celebrating mediocrity now? Is that what we're doing?
What did I miss?
They not like us. Because that ain't the LA way. We want championships. That's why the Lakers, when Dr. Bus was alive, the Lakers, you know why the Lakers never put up Pacific Division banners or Western Conference banners? Because Dr. Bus was like, we didn't win the championship. It was basically a failure of a season.
Yep.
Right? Where is that
mentality?
We talk about Mamba mentality, but that ain't it. Where is that? I remember I've covered the Sparks for years. I remember them getting into the playoff, deep into the playoffs. I remember those down years when they competed and won a championship and seeing Candace just explode into this player, this great player, and putting this team on her shoulders and guiding them into it and winning that chip. And when she said those words, this was for Pat. And you felt that in the city of your soul because you knew, especially if you followed this team, you knew how long it took for them to get back from the days of Lisa Leslie and Mwati Mabika and all those great ladies that won those back-to-back titles that stopped the Comets.
The Comets, oh man.
Because they were on a tear for years.
They were incredible.
So how do we get back to that championship mystique? What has to be done? Can we stop with the mediocrity? That's all I'm asking. This is my city.
I'm putting more in that offering play, baby.
This is my city. And I'm not saying anything derogatory or disrespectful. Those ladies on that Sparks team today play extremely hard. Having Kelsey Plum, De'Erica Hamby, Ray Burrell, you got Cameron Brink, who's come back off injury. And I can't wait to see what Cam develops into next season because she only had half a season this year. But to really see her have a full season, I think Cameron Brink is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Yep. You got Rakia Jackson, who's continuing to improve. They have a squad. But do we have enough in the coaching cabinet to get this thing done? And are you looking at the long term or are we playing the short game? Because we got 18 holes. Why are we playing the short game at hole 4? I just want to know. So yeah, this is my message I love the Sparks. A small piece of me will always be, because that was my first professional team that I covered in this industry. But I'd be damned if I'm going to settle for mediocrity when I've been to the mountaintop. Not once, but twice covering this team. And y'all lost all 3 of your number 1 picks. How do we rebound from this? What needs to happen? Is it the coaching? Is it the players? Is it the general manager? Is it upper management? What needs to happen to get us back to this championship mystique? Because that's when the league is better when the LA Sparks are that team.
Absolutely. It's like Yankees in the baseball.
When the Dodgers, the Yankees, Red Sox, that's when the league is better. When the Lakers and the Celtics and the Knicks are good, the league is better. That's what I want for this team. I want the Sparks to be like, yo, they about to go deep this year. Watch out. To see them go up against the Aces, to see them go up against the Liberty, to go against the Minnesota Lynx. What's the timeline? Where's the sense of urgency? That's what I want to see. So, on that note, that is the show. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of feedback from that, but you know what? Bring it on. If you want some, come get some. I don't really care.
And remember, I was just a guest for the day.
Yeah, he was just a guest. These are my thoughts.
Don't flood my DMs.
They ain't his thoughts. These are my thoughts. But anyway, bro, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you coming on.
I love the show.
Stepping in, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support as well.
Always.
Make sure y'all follow this man and let him know where they can find you, man.
Find me on Instagram at Instagram Chuck. Instagram's added those maps things, so don't do that. But follow me at Instagram Chuck. Follow my company at Living Legends Group. And stay tuned. We got some cool stuff, coming for the year. And shout out to Lojo. You guys do an incredible show, man. Keep supporting the Hardwood 94. Gia Daddy loves you. I'll catch you guys next time. God bless.
Yes, indeed. Until next week, the clock is ticked, game is over, and we in the buckets. Later.
Hey.